Let's take a look. You compile everything in one PDF, is it okay? Or only one drawings? Okay. This is your drawing application. You're using tablet, right? So what do you understand? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, right now we're looking at right, okay? Do you think that the drawing that you do actually right or not?
I think got
Okay,
some
what are the
problem
problems that you
lah.
face from here?
That the
How about the
line
nose?
is
When you
not
draw
good.
the nose, is it right or not? Is it right? The
The
nose,
nose.
the drawing line and strokes over here. Right. Okay, if you wash back again, okay, are you using what kind of brushes? Using hard brown brushes or using Cal Ultimate hard pastel brush?
Hard round.
Okay. Brushes here, the wrist over there, right? I don't think that I can see those drawing strokes there, right? See the drawing strokes here. But some of the exercise quite okay lah, right? You actually can draw or using the tools well, okay? But the basic structures of the drawing is not that right, okay? Especially when you draw the line, the continuous line drawing. So, you know what are the for me is one of the issues that I have basically to conduct your classes for this semester. This is not your issues, like it's my issues and my kind of challenge there, right? The challenge that I have because we cannot actually do manually there, right? Because normally these subjects it require for you guys to work with traditional methods, okay? So the challenge is right now when you start to work with digitals there, even though you can draw on top of the subject matter there, okay? But I assume some people, right, okay, some people will have the difficulty later on to imagine or to develop their structures well, right? They don't know how to differentiate between using pencil and tablet and later on. Okay, that's why if you go through back again from my previous kind of demonstrations, I did both kind of techniques using sketchbooks and also digital at the same time there. One of the reason is because I want to give you guys some understanding. When I'm using tablets and also when I'm using drawing pen on the sketchbooks, the methods the way that we're going to work are going to be the same there. Right. To answer back again the questions, okay, from you there, right, okay, this is the answer. If you watch back again my videos on drawing this, uh, these subject matters there, which one? Like this one, right? Take a look here, right? This character is there, right? Okay. Because in multimedia there will be animation subjects. You're going to experience two semesters, 2D cell animations and 2D animation subject. Okay, So these animation subjects, you're not going to work normally, only drawing or working with the flying text or motion graphics only. It requires you to work also with designing the characters, okay? At the same time that you are designing your own characters. What are the problems that we have here? When it comes to your assignments next week, or your first assignment next week, right? If I'm going to ask you to draw a character using hard drawn brushes, right? If I ask you guys to draw one characters based from the subject matters are going to be cat, for example, or dogs. Okay? So this is the thing that okay, you have okay, for example, dogs. Okay? Images. What kind of dogs? Right. Let's just say I'm going to give you guys some specific kind of dogs. Right. For example, you need to draw based on the subject matters. Right. For example, like this one. Okay, this is a okay. For example, this is a dog. This is Chihuahua, right? So the problem is right now for this silence later on, you're not going to trace them only. You're going to redesign your way of working to develop your character design. For example, we have here one of the dogs. In order to develop one single character or one single design, you have to do a lot of research. Right? Normally, we are not actually just draw, okay, from the reference. We are going to redesign them back. So how to redesign them back? To understand the whole structure there. Just now, when I saw your drawings, they're going to look like this. Right? Is it right? Right? We draw like this one. Okay? It doesn't show any kind of understanding there. Maybe a little bit, but no. What basically you do, basically you're not actually understanding. You just follow basically my instructions without having enough understanding. When people actually still doing this kind of drawings, okay, you still start to draw this kind of drawings, it will show that you don't learn from whatever that we have told you with the lessons there. Right. So if you actually going to keep working with this kind of drawings there, when we are going to ask you to draw your own characters there, you're going to start to try to cheat yourself by most of the students will find one of the simplest way they will try to find some of the character design from for some of the what we call that illustration that saw from here there, right? For example, like this one, and they're going to start to they will start to get the ideas from here, paste, and they're going to trace. Remember our first lessons that I actually showed you guys. We never trace, but we draw them back. But some of the students when they actually want to work with their final year project or their assignment, they start to trace them. Right, they start to trace them. But whatever they trace, they don't understand, right? They just simply copy from other people's works, like they plagiate those kind of works, they're right. And they start to draw like this one. But what are the impact? What basically the impact of the knowledge, the value that you bring from these drawings? Nothing for me. Not only me. You ask any lecturers that actually going to teach design, they will find there is no such thing as value there. Why? Because they don't develop those understanding from here. To answer back your questions, why I give you guys a lot of what we call that exercise there. Because we want to train, not I only, not I'm only there, okay? You ask Miss Jacqueline, you ask Juan Kasturi, you ask any lecturers there, actually, they will answer the same questions. By doing a lot of exercise in the right way, you will improve your design sense and your drawings. But if you treat all your exercise like this one, everything's are going to be the same line, right? Some of them is quite good there, right? Okay, okay. Some good kind of what we call that quality there, okay, like drawing hands, okay. But the problem is, if I'm going to ask you to draw hands without looking at the reference, can you do it practically? Okay.
I think can't.
Why?
Because I just follow the other drawing.
Yes. So that's basically the answers there. We are not actually tracing them. We are not actually learn to copy them, but we learn to study. We try to study from that reference there. And that's why when you draw, you have to use your brain to think. Don't just simply draw like kids directly. When we actually treat ourselves just simply draw without thinking, right, you won't be able to have that kind of impact with your understanding there. I always told not only the students, even though my kids, that everyone actually want to ask me any kind of what we call that advice there, right? No, don't use your brain, use your mind, use your knowledge, your understanding to learn to draw in the right way. You want to be creative, you have to develop your design sense. To develop your design sense, you need to develop your skills, your drawing and design skills. That's how you can develop your design skill. Not only learn to use the tools. Anyone can learn using the tools there. Anyone can buy a high quality kind of tools there, right? But if you have a very good quality kind of tools, for example, that you have a Ferrari there, okay? Ferrari there, okay? Or Porsche there, okay? A car. But if you don't know how to drive, or you don't know how to maneuver your vehicles in the right way, right? If you don't have experience, right, to drive a performing car there, right, for example, you buy Ferrari also, you're going to drive like Kancil, right? Is it right?
Yes.
Is it?
因为你没有觉得奇怪，早上起
Analogies there. That's basically the analogies there. That's why my job is not to torture you guys, right? My job is to push you guys in the right way. in the right path there. That's why I give you guys a lot of exercise. Okay? Because I've experienced the same thing. I'm not teaching from only from the standard kind of module there, okay? From the books only there. I combining not understanding knowledge from books and also my experience working in the fields. Working in the fields there. I'm not actually been sitting down at the college kind of what we call that office there, okay, to do all the paperwork only there. I'm experiencing also the war zone there, okay. I'm going to the war, right? From what we call that, uh, and experience the killing zone there, okay, as a soldier, that is, or as an army, or as a commando, or as a spy, or agent there, right? Okay, if you watch all those kind of movie there, right? So I'm the one who actually experienced that, right, in the field. That's why what I give you guys here, what I share with you guys, okay, is basically the one that actually we experience outside there, okay, outside there. Right. If someone from your families has the same kind of experience, because I have shared also some of your friends actually talked to me there. Okay, her uncle is actually a designer there, so her uncle also told the same thing. You have to practice a lot, do a lot of exercise there, in order to develop your creativity and your design sense. There's no such thing that you can do only one exercise, then you will be good at it, right? Okay, one of the samples that I want to share also you guys here. I think it's from Marisa. Do you know Marisa there? Marisa Wong, I think. She actually from uh, group 3 students there. But basically, this lady has a skill, all right? I never doubt that. But this is basically what she said there, okay? We say, right, she has improved a lot. Her drawings, okay, when I actually give her a lot of methods and techniques that to learn to develop your skills, right? I'm not saying that this drawing is quite perfect, okay, but she actually can draw well there, okay. But there's a few kind of what we call that improvement that she can do from the proportion itself. But it's a good start, lah. It's a good start, right? Okay? This is from which subjects? If you guys recognize?
Introduction of art.
Okay. How many drawings that you need to do for this exercise? Only one there, right? Can you actually
Yes.
find?
No need to the
Can you?
cover.
Yeah. Can you find any significant from this exercise with what actually we've done for our exercise here? Can you find any significance, any kind of connections? Using digital and using charcoal or pencil, is it the same or different there in terms of controlling the pressures, right? Controlling the strokes, controlling the tone, volumes, values there. Is there any significance there? Any connections? Any similarities there? Did you find from there, Esther? Do you find any kind of similarities from there? No. No. Sure. Yeah, that's how you all work here, right? All right, Boon Keng, am I
Yes,
answering your
sure.
questions? Am I answering your questions here? All right,
Yes.
improve your drawing strokes, huh?
Okay.
Okay, from now on, okay, we're not drawing the leaves look like a leaf here over here. All right, so remember that, okay? So
Okay.
if you think that you need to improve, because if you want to improve your drawing skill from now on, please learn back again to improve your mistake. I know it's not that easy for some students actually who actually doesn't know how to draw at the first time, okay? But you need to learn to develop and combine the knowledge that you've been experienced from my subjects with other subjects also, okay? Especially like introduction to art there, okay? As let me see there. Watch the video back again, okay? Please watch the videos. But we still have time to do those demonstrations. I'm going to do some demonstrations there, okay? As where is it? Your name, Esther? Is still or Esther there?
Esther.
Esther. Okay, here. Alright, this is Esther drawing there. Not that bad, Esther. You can draw there, right? You have the skill there, right, Esther?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why you cannot find any kind of difference there or connections between our exercise, okay, with other subject, is it?
Yeah.
But the way that you draw using pencil is the same or not using those tablets? When you control the pressure.
I think no.
No, why?
This one busy. This one easy than pencil.
Because you draw on top of the reference, right?
Yeah.
What if you're not drawing on top of the reference? For example, you want to draw the dots there, right? You start to draw the dots. Okay, for Boon or the rest of you guys, please don't use hard round if you cannot control the brushes there. This is hard round there, right? Okay? Hard round brushes there, right? Okay? If you cannot control the brushes like this, don't use them because it's hard for you to control them. The best way for you to control the brushes, right? But I'm not using your version right of brushes there. I'm using all media web flow brush, right? The way that I'm using these brushes is the same like ultimate Carl pencil brush that you have from your new version of your Photoshop there, okay? Okay, for those who don't find any kind of significant or connections between drawing using pencil traditionally and using those tablets, please use this kind of method again. If you want to draw this dog, for example, but you don't want to trace that, you can practice your hands, okay, to draw like this. Okay? Uh, this one, no drawing structures. I'm not using drawing structures, but I'm using only what we call that my kind of understanding by drawing. I'm working with the structures a bit here, right? Because I just want to have what we call it. If I'm not using structures here, right, I won't be able to get it right. Okay? Maybe because this morning I was a bit lazy lah, maybe there, okay? Because Saturday morning, right, I have to, even though I have the coffee with me, the data with me, there, okay, but I'm still find quite what we call lazy a bit, right? Maybe because yesterday I have met some of my old friends, right? Late at the late night there, okay, we have some sort of yamcha kind of sessions there until midnight there. Maybe because that's why I'm quite busy, I'm quite busy there, right? Sorry guys there. Right, so if you really want to improve your skills, or you want to test your drawing skills there, you have to start to draw like this. See the difference there. And then this is basically your rough sketch. Rough sketch there, okay? We call it rough sketch there. Don't ever to try to draw like Kim Jong-un or Kun Jin-E or whatever Korean kind of god there, okay? Please don't draw like them, that is. Then later on, okay, you add the layers, start to refine your line. This is the correct way when you work with the digitals or manual basically. So start to draw. See, I'm going to clean up my line over here. Even though, of course, the drawing are not going to be the same. Not going to be the same, but I try to improve a little bit from here. I don't know why actually quite easy to do, okay? But the mood basically are going to be also affected your performance. Remember, okay? Drawing also is all about performance there, right? Sometimes, right, you not feel good at it, but you still want to improve your skills or you want to practice yourself, just go with the flow there. But this is not just now basically you draw rough sketches, right? And try not to get as you can get as close as you can, but if you can focus, go ahead, because right now I really can't focus there. I still feel a little bit kind of what you call that, tired from the meeting that I have yesterday. But it's not that issue, okay? It's not that issue. So what I can do here, right? Okay, I'm not trying to force myself to get as close as, because if you know that, okay, the proportion is not right, okay. Basically, the legs are going to look like this. So you will find basically, I'm also not a perfect kind of guy. I'm not actually trying to be show you guys, okay, the perfections of my way of working. I didn't shy that, okay, to show a bit on the weakness there, okay. The problem that we face normally, okay, a lot of people when they actually start to draw, they thought that everything has to be perfect, okay. You have to remember one thing, right? The life is not perfect, okay. Life is not perfect. So clean up the line, see. Of course, you want to be good at it. You just draw that back on top of it, right? But if you want to practice your drawing skills, this your first draft of sketches there. That's number one. Okay. Okay. Whatever that we do, sorry, we go through right now is how to learn to develop our understanding there. Correct. But the best way for you guys to start to draw the structure is, you saw the pictures right here, because manually when you draw something from your reference, you cannot trace them right without putting the what we call that the tracing papers to draw back again your reference there. But you use your eyes to draw back again. So what I can do, I can use this grayscale. The basic structures of the shapes over here, right? Okay, is from grayscale doesn't work there, right? Right. Oval shapes. See, this is the center point. This is basically the line of actions. These are going to be the shapes there, the shapes of the dots, okay, the characters itself. See, the shapes of it. This is basically the shape for the hair, okay, for the jumbo or the hair, okay. This is basically the alignments that align basically the nose areas there, right? So, if you, okay, from circles, half of it cut. Circles, half of it, right? It's cut, right? The shapes of the eyes. All right. So the body itself came from bit kind of like a half square or cylinders there, right? Okay. And then circle the back again. Shapes of it look like a cut of the cylinders over here and half of the sphere there, right? This one like a triangles or hexagon bit, diamonds shapes, work with the body there. So this is basically the basic structures of the dog. Okay, all the process that we go through right now is all about study them back. Learn to study things back again. It's not all about how good you can draw for all the exercise that you do, but how good you can actually learn to develop your understanding from here, right? To learn about to draw from side profiles. This is side profile there. The shape itself. It's not square, no. Even though the shapes look like a square like this, but it can go also from circles, triangles there, right? More triangle shapes. This is more like a hexagon, what we call a cylinders there, right? Okay? Cut into boxes there, right? Okay? This one came from boxes there. This one came from cylinders there, right? There's a one, two, three segment, okay, from the legs. So learn to develop this kind of understanding when you draw that. Okay? Try to see things in the very simplest way that okay, before you're going to learn. Okay? From side profile, it's not like a full kind of shape there. Okay? They look a bit more like an oval for the eyes there. Even though human eye also from side profiles are going to be look like this, right? This is basically the whole eyeball there, okay? From side profile. So you have to understand that how it works there. That's why when you ask back again, why we have to do only a lot of exercise from here, because there's a lot of things that you need to learn. There's a lot of things that you need to learn, okay? Right? In illustrations. All right. That's why. But if you say you don't like drawing, you don't like perfect drawing, you cannot draw well. You want to draw dots for illustration. Can you draw like this? For example, like this one, like basic shape. Right? Let's just say draw dots, right? You draw dot like this, or you like to draw dot like this for illustrations. In illustration can be accepted there, but do you accept this kind of style there? Or maybe you want to draw dots like this. Dot like. Can you accept to draw like dot like this? Anyone like to draw the dot like this there? Anyone? Hmm. So in illustration, basically, there's a lot, there's a whole wide kind of way there. Okay? There's a lot of way for you to develop your kind of presentations for your illustrations there. There doesn't have to be always have to be a perfect kind of way of working with this kind of drawing there. Right? For example, that from the first semesters until final year there, okay, you still cannot draw well. Right, but you want to do illustration for your FYP projects. You can actually develop a very unique kind of way in illustration in order to present your work. But you have to understand why actually you're going to do that kind of drawings there for your presentations there. You don't have to draw like manga characters or manga Japanese kind of stuff if you cannot draw that. Don't try to be wannabe there. Okay? You know wannabe is what? People actually love to copy other people's work, but they cannot draw as perfect as that person, as that artist. They just simply want to draw, try to draw like exactly. But the problem is they don't understand about the proportion well. They don't understand about how to control the drawings well directly. So that kind of issues a lot of people have there. So if you think that you want to proceed your illustrations without using a lot of efforts to practice your skills, I would say that you can draw like this guy. This is also illustration. We go back into this guy illustration. This is also a part of illustrations. And I believe this guy also cannot draw well. He only know how to draw like this. But he can make his own living as a commercial illustrator using this kind of style. Very cartoon, naive kind of style. See? Drawing here. Very unique. I really love these drawings. I really love his drawings, and I really admire his styles. And I'm also studying his style for my work, okay? But I'm not just copying that. So ask yourself back again, who you want to be. You want to become that, like this guy, in order to present your work later on. But you need to have a knowledge also, why actually you want to do this kind of styles. Right. And also the combination of colors there is very wishful and also appealing. Okay? That's why he can do a lot of commission work. Okay? See, this is one of the commission work that he did. A lot of commission work based on this style. See the murals there? This is one of his murals there. Doodle mural there. Okay? This one there, right? People get paid to design this kind of stuff. People get paid. Right? Get paid by using this kind of stuff. I'm not telling you guys BS about it. Okay? I'm telling you guys the real thing happens around the world. Alright. So that's why you need to answer back again your questions. Why we should do a lot of exercise from now on. Who you want to be from here. But I already give you guys some examples there. Where you want to go. This is also one of the options there. Let's just say later on, okay, next week, you want to design a character, they're right. Dog characters, they're going to become like this. Dog characters are going to look like this. Power. I don't know why actually I still draw like this one actually to show you guys example. So for example, this is your one of the samples that you have. Right? One of the idea that you have to draw dogs. And then you're going to color them up. Using a rough round bristles that brush. Okay? Like this. So to me, this is your style there. And I'm going to ask you guys why you draw like this. Because you're going to answer that, okay, because I saw one of the illustrators has drawn like this. I want to follow his style there. Okay? One of the styles there. Of course, I can accept this kind of style there. Okay? Because they show the combinations there. Okay. Listen to my answer. Right? Why actually choose this kind of style there? Because it shows the combination between all the element of design. For example there, okay, I know how to control the light and shadows using the source of light, okay, between the shades and shadows there. I'm combining line, one of the first element, line, shapes, textures there. Textures mean this kind of texture, okay, brush it, okay? You can see the textures there, okay? Colors, okay? I use the harmonized colors using orange kind of light and also dark tone there of values there to emphasize the shadows and form for the whole structure there. And it shows also some value of tone, all right? And also combination with some sort of balance there between the whole structures there for this design, okay? And they have also show me, and I show one of the styles that I present based on the scribbling, doodling, children's kind of drawings, naive kind of drawing styles. You understand how I explain that? When I explain those kind of what we call that design purpose for my drawings here, I'm using all the education academic kind of terms there. Element of designs and principle of design together. And it shows from here. It shows from my design here. I'm not actually telling you guys a lie or BS rapping. I'm telling you guys the logic there, the significance, the logic between those principles and elements together, okay, in my design. But the point is right now, do you like this kind of design to be a part of your way of working? That one you have to answer back to. You want to draw like this, or you want to draw like this? But I bet if you try to draw like this, it will show more on your uniqueness. Unique. But in order to develop this kind of styles, it came also from experience, understanding, and knowledge. Look simple, you can try them, and you try to explain that. They're not going to be the same. And you're not going to have a lot of confidence from here. Ready? So, do you guys understand what I mean right now? In illustrations, there's a lot of way for you guys to visualize your kind of works or your kind of design, kind of what we call that visuals there. You can visualize things in any way, but you have to do your own research there. That's why we have to do a lot of sketches. The process of exercise that you did right now is all about developing your sense of routine. When it comes to do your work later on, or this is only first method, right? I already push you guys to draw a few exercises there. What I have before to make me to become what I have right now, I did more than you guys. I did more than you guys. If you ask me how actually I can be good at what I do, I have done all these kind of works since 1995. Where were you from there? 1995. Are you born there? No.
Not yet.
Are you sure? Right. So in 1995, I was 20 years old. 20 years old then. So that means right now, how old I am? Roughly. How old I am then? In 1995, I was 20, if I'm not mistaken. 2020, how old I am then?
45.
Yeah, roughly there, right? 45 then. 45. So how long it takes for me to practice, develop myself. Now I'm actually in front of you to share my experience, and my knowledge and understanding. Right. And I hope you guys can do better than mine. I really put my, what we call that, hopes there, right? Okay? That you guys can do better than me. You guys can do better than this drawing there, right? Or this drawing there. All right? Hmm. So when you go back to our mistakes that we draw there, any questions so far? Any questions? No?
Sir, will you
Yes?
check everyone drawings every week? Like hundreds students.
Okay. What we can actually do, what actually I can do basically, okay? Even though I can't actually look all of your works there, okay, at the moment, right, okay? But the thing that I can do when I actually pick up one of the drawings that I find there's a lot of things that we can actually improve. For example, like Boon King just now. Boon King, where's your face there? Okay, don't be shy, lah. Okay, be confident a bit, okay. We want to improve ourselves there. Don't worry there, okay. I did a lot of mistakes there, Boon King, but I don't feel shy about it, okay, because human make mistakes there. Don't worry there. Learn from there. The most important thing right now, we have to learn from our mistakes there, right? Even though we're going to continue to do that kind of mistakes, okay, for some of the times, but don't worry, that's a normal thing. As long as you know where your mistakes and you improve one step at a time. One step at a time to improve there. Always there. Alright? Right. Don't be too rushed to push yourself because everyone have their own time that will. As long you don't give up on yourself. Right? Don't give up on yourself. So your question is now, actually?
I asked, will you check everyone's drawing every week?
Yeah. When I actually normally I'm going to pick up one of the drawings or 1% or 2% who actually can compare the drawings. Right? Just like today, you choose Bunting and also Esther there, right? So there's two different kind of quality of drawing that you saw from the other, right? Make sure when I actually show these kind of examples, make sure you learn also from there. Why? One of the most important thing, okay? I bet most of you guys who actually have the difficulty or challenge to improve your drawing skill, you will draw like this, right? Is it true? But for me, right, okay, for the first time, like Boon Keng draw, it's not that bad, right? It's not that bad. But there's a lot of room can be improved. For example, okay, because I cannot actually go through the whole thing, right? Okay? The best way for me to do when it comes to week 7, everyone has to record their presentation and show and explain about their works and activity from the first week until week 6. So you have to do some video sessions from there, 5 to 10 minutes, okay? So that's how actually I can review back in all the submissions. And when you explain yourself, when you actually talk to your works, then you will also understand what are your mistakes basically. Normally, right, when people actually talk about their works back again, and they show their works there, right, okay?
So that means we need to record all our drawings from week 1 to week 6.
Yes. Record and show, right? You just present and show that.
Okay.
Just doing like a video kind of presentations, but you share your screen together when you draw that. Okay. Okay, my kind of demonstrations this week based on these pictures. Very simple reference that we have. All right, I'm going to show you guys. Okay, I want to show back again how it works because when I actually draw from our lessons, okay, this week, I'm actually teach you guys, share with you guys how to differentiate between light and shadows there, right? So, but I want to what we call that remind you guys All right, from our lesson for this week, if you learn also how to learn to draw shape and shadings in the right way, please watch the videos, right? Because all the video that are actually 1, 2, 3, 4 videos will basically show almost the same, but I improve a little bit from one video to another video there. I'm using my face, our student, our friend face, okay, to draw, to do this kind of demonstration there. Please check those videos there, okay? Those are basically your homework if you do those exercise there. Okay, let's just say I want to, what we call that, uh, use some of the reference here. Right? We have the reference here, okay? But not too clear there, right? Okay? Not very clear there. Okay, Ziwei, show us your face, all right? Okay, now, let's just say I have a very limited kind of resources, for example, draw. So let's just say we have these pictures here. Wait up, so we have to off that back in. You guys can see my screen share already. Okay, now, what are the common mistakes that people do when they start to draw human face? Okay, about light and shades, please refer to my videos there. If you don't refer to my videos and you make the same mistakes, I'm going to ask you guys to draw back again, especially in week 7 there. Okay, the common mistake that people always do when they draw. They start to draw like this. Right. Okay? They start to draw like this there. This is what one of your friends actually draw just now. Okay? Okay? What is this? What you can actually conclude from this drawing there? What basically you can actually judge from these drawings? What is this? This is part of those drawings that I actually introduced to you guys for your exercise. You saw your drawing there, right? Okay? Right. Like King there, right? So they kind of drawing, right? Are those drawings similar to your drawings? Quite similar there, right? So I'm not saying that drawings, if you actually purposely draw like this for your illustration styles, we can accept it. Because illustration is actually a part of the way that people communicate using pictures there, visuals there. Those are the meaning of illustrations, right? But the thing is, are you purposely use this kind of style to portray your visual interpretations, or you actually don't understand what you do? Two different kind of answers there, right? Or two different questions there. Do you purposely done it because of the styles, or you can draw? If your answer is the second one, that means you're doing in the wrong way. Okay? You're not doing in the right way. How to improve that? Right. First of all, watch my video back again. How actually do that thing, and follow exactly as I did. We have 4 videos, and we have more than 4 videos before this. Actually, I've done those demonstrations. Follow them back. If you don't want me, because if you keep doing the same mistakes, right? And you not actually watch back again my videos, I'm not going to evaluate based from this exercise as a marks, right? Because I don't want to trick you guys, but this is the way that I'm going to mark. If you're not making the right kind of drawings, all those 40% of your marks from the weekly exercise, not assignments, that weekly exercise, I'm going to cut or deduct at least 50%. So you got only 10% for all your weekly exercise. Why? Because you're not actually answer the same questions there. You're not actually follow the directions there. You're not actually learn from our lessons. Okay? It's just like you answer the questions on the papers there, okay? But you give wrong answer. Normally, if the answer is not entirely right, maybe has a similarities, the person who actually mark your answer going to give maybe 50, half of the mark, or maybe 1 or 2% right, from those marks, right? But if you answer totally wrong, you get 0, right? Right. Fair and square, right? Because you're not actually following the answers there. You're not actually answering the questions. This is not the way that we answer the questions there. How actually we're going to improve our drawings here? Take a look back again, how actually I draw. The way I for my hands, right, I'm using 10 point of sizes, and then when I draw, take a look here. See? See how I draw? Actually, I move my hands there. When I actually draw, I zoom in, press a little bit, and control. Even though this drawing is not that perfect, I try to be as lazy as I can. See the way I move my hands? I'm not combining the strokes when I draw the lips. See? Nose when I draw, where basically I start. Can you see that? Eyebrows there. You know, see how actually I draw the eyebrows there, right? I try to control the pressures when I draw. It's like I'm using pencils. As I told you guys before, this technique were basically for the person who actually cannot draw well there. But you can actually improve your drawing skill by controlling your pressure strokes right now. If you cannot see the way how actually improve the drawing skill from here, the eyes from here, you can zoom in using the features that we have. See, I draw the eyes there, the pupil of the eyes there, and the eyes there. Even because I'm not actually teach you guys to trace the drawings here. I teach you guys to improvise the drawings based on the techniques. Just follow exactly as what I do there, right? Simple as that. The problem is right now you don't follow that. You just keep doing the thing that you feel comfortable with. You don't think when you draw. Press and release the right. If you want to get a very good impact or maybe feedback from me, please send me your personal kind of drawings to my WhatsApp direct. See the way I move my hand to draw the hair? This is one of the simplest kind of ways you can actually improve your drawing skills. See the difference between this and this. You can see a huge kind of difference there. For those who actually learn from zero knowledge there, right? From zero understanding, you can see the difference there, right? I didn't color the whole thing in black, especially on the pupil there. Anyone who actually draw like this, please redraw back again, especially for the week 5 exercise. Before I ask you guys to draw back again, I did not combine every single strokes or line of shapes when I draw the lips. The way that I want my hands to draw the nose, that's why we have to learn about the basic constructions of how to draw the nose there, right? Okay? You don't even try to do some research there to draw that. This is the basic structures of the nose. Right? Draw the nose. Before you're going to erase, to redraw back. Okay? The nose. Learn from what you see. Learn from your observations there. You have your eyes there. You have your brain also to think how the thing's going to be worked there, right? Not this one. Boon King just now draw like this. I didn't draw like this for all of my demonstrations there. Okay? So I did show you guys how to the eyes there. Then I give you guys the sample of pictures there, right? In week 4. Alright, like this one. And I did also give some examples there, okay? From the exercise here. See? How actually I draw them the Boon King. Can you see the way I control my line and hands? Did I draw like you? You saw the videos there, right? If you don't watch the videos, please watch the video back again. The problem is right now you don't do your own homework there. You don't do your own revisions there. This is your revisions when I record those videos for you guys. Okay? So the only thing that you have right now, you don't do enough revisions there. You just simply draw from what you think, right? You not draw from what you know there, right? You don't develop your understand from that. That's basically your mistakes. All right. Okay.
Sir, can you check my drawing, see whether I'm drawing in the right way?
Surely there. Wait up, Where is it surely there? Because for me, if the person actually doing right, I not actually do a lot of comment on that. Okay, everyone take a look, okay? Like Esther just now and also Shirley. They both basically have the right kind of understanding to control their pressures there, right? That's why this is also one of the good example from your friends that show they have a lot of understanding from it. I don't want to have a very critical kind of what we call that critics on the drawings there. But of course, there's a lot of improvement if you want to take a look about how to construct the eyes there. But the thing is right now, it's not that quite critical for Shirley kind of run there. She actually can draw well, and she actually has developed a very good kind of understanding. Even though you don't have to draw all this kind of pigment right there on the surface there, but it's just good enough for her to develop the right kind of stroke here. But of course, the hairline drawings can be improved. This part of the eye also can be improved. The lips also can be improved, especially the textures of the lips there, right? Normally, when we draw using digitals, right, we try to minimize some of the textures line, right? Some of the textures line. So that's why one of the best way for you to improve your drawing skills by looking at other people's drawings. Okay, especially when people draw using those what we call that the drawing strokes and liner. Okay, I'm using this kind of what we call that this kind of method like sketch line, but controlling the pressures here. Okay, can you see there right now how actually more my hands here, right? When I want to draw the eyes, normally I want to improve the line that is. See? One step at a time. A lot of them people draw, okay, they try to draw like this. They try to draw like this one there. This is the wrong way. Press and release, don't press too much there, right? And draw one step at a time there, right? Okay? Zoom in a little bit and move slowly to draw those pupils there. Right? And then the iris, right? You don't have to draw like this one, the highlight there. You just need to draw half of it like this. Control a bit there, and you can actually render them back. See the way I render there, right? I'm etching there. See? This is one of the way you can actually practice your rendering or etching using those brush tools there, okay, towards. How about the eyelid? Eyelash there, eyelash. I didn't draw like this one there. Just draw suggestions line there. Because you want to emphasize this is the women eyes, right? Otherwise they look like a man. So we not actually trace them. The problem about these pictures because you try to trace, you not try to draw. Right? You trace the whole thing there. Right? Even though you have the right kind of combination of controlling the structures there, right? Okay, the brush strokes there, but you're still trying to trace them. You're not actually applying your drawing methods there towards. I'm actually try to applying my drawing skills there from here. Okay, when I draw this, when I draw the nostrils between you and mine, or actually I did it, I just draw some suggestions line there. See, very soft kind of touch on the strokes, right? Very soft kind of touch there, just like using pencil. This one, when I draw the lips, for example here, see how I actually control the strokes there? Take a look there, guys. Carefully there to draw. I not draw the whole thing like this. With the textures of those lips there, right? I try to give some sort of suggestions, like a drawing stroke there, like a drawing action line, right? More than enough. Then the rest of things, either we can use those this kind of methods to draw the bevel, right? The volume of tone, right? Depending there, right? You have to practice it. Right? You have to experience and experiment and to give the suggestions only, but the whole quality of lines is very, very appealing and confident. Right? Then I can actually improve it more from the nostrils. I didn't draw the whole thing like this one. Right? If you have to draw like this, you better draw like this one. Right? More better. Right? Hmm. Right. Better draw like this rather than draw like this. When you draw people's nose. Right. You see the difference? Right. So think before you draw. Use your brain to think. Right? Don't use your thought there, right? Okay? Your thought, oh, I thought I have to draw like this. No. Think before you move your hands, think before you take some actions there, think before you are going to push the strokes there, right? You have to feel that using your hands. Takes time, be patient. If you ask me, is there any shortcut way? I'll show you guys a shortcut way, but you cannot actually follow that. Right. But if you want to do a shortcut way to learn about illustrations, my kind of suggestion is use a phone app directly. You can use Face app to do some illustration if you think you can. Right, okay, this one, okay, you have to do a little bit kind of what we call that, a bit more kind of push a bit some of tone, okay, because it has to show contrast a little bit. But when I paint, I didn't paint the whole thing like that. Try to control a little bit on the pressures here. Learn to control the pressure from here. Then you can see the difference between the pupil and the iris, okay, to show the depths and the volumes of this drawing here. All right, about the hairline, a lot of people draw like this, but I draw like this one, right? With way more hands. Even though using those, some of the brushes is quite difficult there. I control my hands. Draw the hair has to be a bit more softer there. But it takes time to understand that. Don't worry, sir. There's a lot of ways, there's a lot of tools that we can use, or brush tool that can be used right now to draw hairline. But one of the reasons I want you guys to draw like this because I want to improve your drawing skills there. Your controlling pressures of strokes there, right? That's why I'm introducing you guys to draw like this. Very sketch line, but it show a lot of volumes, the quality of tone from here. Between this drawing is a very rough sketch line. This one will basically from the contour line drawing, sketch line, contour line drawing there. You want to learn more effectively to work with your drawing skills? Draw using those contour lines. See the way I move my hands here? Contour line drawing here. No strokes or no pressure line or strokes, but you draw continuously there, right? Okay, for Boon Keng, or the rest of you guys who actually have a lot of challenges to improve your skills, okay, please try this kind of exercise a lot. I mean a lot, all right? Don't draw only one drawing there. See the way I move my hands there to draw this nose. I'm using the strokes, the flows, the structures there to draw them. But I did not actually combine the line. Don't you ever combine the line, okay? Unless you draw from 3/4 view there, right? Okay? Then you combine the line. Even though the shape is not that quite accurate, but it's okay. Just like drawing a map, right, okay, on top of it. But you can see the quality there, the difference between those lines there. This is one of the best exercise for the beginners to work. This is the best exercise, contour line drawing exercise. Okay? Okay, Shirley?
Okay, thank you, sir.
So you understand, right? Okay? I answered your questions there, right? So these two different drawings is good for the beginners or even though the intermediate kind of person that you do. Because I do also the same exercise, okay, to improve my drawings. All right. About our lessons for this week. Watch the videos, right? I will show you guys, okay, also from these videos, how basically use those lasso tools to draw the shapes here, right? Watch them back. I want you guys to do your own revisions. You got 5 days to complete all this exercise. But this one, right, I just simply use a very limited kind of reference. I just capture from the screen to teach, right, everyone how to differentiate between light and shadows there. So do your own revision. Okay. Don't tell me that you don't actually understand how it works because I didn't do those demonstrations for these sessions because I already have 4 videos that I record for each classes there. You guys can do some revisions, and your session today, I'm actually simply want to understand deeply what are your mistakes, then why I do this kind of demonstration back again, because I saw like Bunkin, like Shirley, maybe some of you guys still need this attention there, right? Without having a very good kind of strokes. You learn about shadings later on, right? You can see the shadings, right? The shapes of shading is not that hard, but all these kind of shadings are going to be effective if you don't learn about. Sorry, it's not here. If you don't learn about controlling the strokes in the right way. See the way they draw the shadings of the shapes, right? It's a very simple kind of learning process to know the source and the directions of light. But the strong point about this drawing is, these illustrations is all about drawings. Take a look at how actually they draw the structures there. The quality of line that they produce there, okay? With the sketch line. How they control the pressure. Those are the most important thing that everyone has to be improved there. So I didn't use a lot of reference, okay, based on my samples today, because I want to show students how to take. If you take a look at these drawings here that I did from your friends' pictures there, without the outline, without the drawing line there, okay. This is the shades there. This is the shadings there. This is the light and shadow there. It's nothing. What makes these drawings or illustrations looks perfectly been done because of the drawing scripts. Okay, and that's why learning about shadings, light and shadows, right? Okay, and shapes is not that hard. You only have to revise and review, do some revisions, and control your tone of values and flows in the right way. Okay, but without having a very good kind of strokes, like this, all right, the whole process of the design is nothing there, nothing to be proud or nothing to be learned from there. So control the pressure, because for me there, okay, this line of drawings is not that quite perfectly been done there, but I just simply draw them according to my kind of what we call the time that I have, just to give some suggestions. What are the best way? You have to learn to analyze bad drawings and good drawing is. Okay, this is one of the good drawings in a short time that I can create, develops what we call that our lessons and understanding to work with this kind of exercises. Okay? Watch them back. And I'm not trying to draw her portrait. If you take a look there, okay, I just using as a reference, and I try to improvise from those pictures there. Learn to improvise, make times there. I didn't actually follow exactly as a pictures there. If I want to follow exactly in a short times, I just copy and paste, put it right here. Those are the shortcut way I can show you guys how it works. If I want to, what we call that, give a shortcut way to learn about perfectly been done how to work with this kind of drawings, I just use this one already as a reference. Just paste, right, and put it below the drawing. Everything has to be look perfect, right? But what I think that you learn from here, nothing there. Right? But I close this one, the layers, and start to learn about how to develop the shades and shadings using the same methods here. Light and shadow came from these sessions there. Okay? This what we call the subject that I draw, that I actually paint, right? Okay, based from my imagination. based on the imagination. So watch those videos, do your revisions there. Just work hard a little bit and smart way to work. Okay? Any questions? Any questions there, guys? No?
No.
Alright, if you don't have any questions, good luck with your works.